Well, hey everyone, welcome back to the stream, welcome to the channel, and welcome to another video and yet another chapter working on our little 1/25th scale Firebird Trans Am by MPC. Pardon my voice, I am still getting over a cold, and that's, well, it's been a process. It's a little stubborn, doesn't really want to go away. So bear with me, okay? So it's been 24 hours, and 24 hours ago I spray painted this thing with the All-Clad 2 Chrome. So she's ready for some color. So what color are we doing? We are going to be using All-Clad 2's Candy Electric Blue, and so that's what color she's going to wind up being. And thank you, airplanes, for taking off. You know, planes have been quiet for the last couple of hours, and now, of course, as soon as I start my stream, they decide to take off in a different direction. So anyway, make sure this is all nice and mixed up. So, painting the blue is going to be basically the same thing as painting the chrome, like I did yesterday. If you want to see that, go watch the previous video. It's pretty much simple as that, right? So I'm going to get my little table set up here and get ready to paint. Now we got some kind of ambulance going down the highway. There's a siren going like a crazy person. Just finished my coffee about 15 minutes ago, something like that. Okay, so there's my little box that I'm spraying on. Make sure minimizing the amount of dust in the area. Spraying lots of water down. Once again, I'm going to be using my Procon Boy PS 290 trigger style with 5mm with a 0.5, not 5mm, but 0.5 needle. I'm going to be putting on a glove this time because I'm actually going to be holding on to the body, so that I can really, I want to hold on to it like this so I can actually get underneath and get that angle. And as you can see, I've masked off the interior roof. I don't want to have to repaint that white. So I know I'm going to get overspray on the inside as I do this. So just in preparation for that. So I'm hoping this is going to look really nice when it's all said and done. That's the hope. Isn't that the hope in any paint job you do? You hope it looks nice when it's all said and done. A little bit of dried paint on the inside. I don't want to keep that inside the bottle. Okay. Oh, I was going to set up the camera for you guys. I forgot to do that. Hold on. So you guys, some of you guys like to watch me spray paint, so do that for you. Let's see. There you go. That's good. Okay, so switch the cam so you can watch me do this, and we'll go from there. Okay. So I want to get this angle like this kind of thing. Similar fashion to the chrome, I have to lay it down. You probably can't even see any difference at all. Not yet anyway. It takes a couple of layers to actually get this stuff to cover and start looking blue. Probably can't tell on the camera, not yet anyway, that it's starting to look blue. You could probably tell on the box, but on the car itself it's not looking really blue yet. So it's going to take some coats. And I can already see a couple of specks of dust that it's going to haunt me for the rest of my life, but that's just the way it is. Going a little bit slower, that gives me a more of a wet coat. More dust spots. I hate that, but those are going to be covered by the decal for the most part, so I don't have to worry about it too much. I am going to have to turn a fan on now because I've got it really dusty in here. Lots of overspray going on. As you can see, slowly, well, on the camera it's still looking pretty silver. In real life it's starting to finally turn blue. We're just not there yet. Lots more coats to go. I need to let it catch up and kind of settle down a little bit first. starting to get there. Now it even looks a little blue on the camera. Give that a few seconds to tack up a little bit. Starting to look blue. Still not where I want it, but it's close. I'm going to refill my little cup here. Now that I'm closer to the color that I want, I'm spraying it a little wetter. Getting a good wet coat on there. I do have tons of dust on the hood. It is the one spot really that has the most dust. There's a little speck on the trunk, but that's all there is really. Let's just make sure I get good coverage. Just making sure I got good coverage on the very bottom of it, because I'm pretty much done now as far as the top. So just making sure I've got the good coverage there. One more pass on the hood. Unfortunately, there are tons of dust spots on the hood. There really isn't anything I can do about it at this point. Okay, we've got nice, good, wet coverage. That car is now a nice, healthy blue. And so now that I've got that blue, and I have a lot of mist in my room from the overspray of this paint, I will say the fact that I have to lay it on like that, because it's so thin and it takes so many passes to cover, this stuff does get a lot of overspray, and I've got a big cloud in my room right now that I have a little trouble seeing. But that's okay, because I got fans, I've got ventilation, my window's open. Should I use a respirator? Yeah, maybe. Maybe I should. At the same time, am I doing this all day long? No. It's one little shot, 10 minutes, whatever it's been, and it'll clear out. My room will be fine. But now I gotta clean my brush, and so I'm gonna waste you guys' time who watching me live. You get to watch me clean my brush out. YouTube, of course, I always cut this stuff out, cut to the next scene, and so yeah, we'll go from there. Time for cleaning. Speaking of cleaning, should I clean my glasses? Surprisingly enough, although it looks like I've got stuff on my glasses are actually clean. So we'll disassemble this in preparation, because I know I'm going to have to. Lots of blue on that. Let's just clean this first. like a nice clean bowl. It's just me. That's what I like. There we go. That's clean. Now, pull the needle out. I mentioned in the first one, mentioned yesterday, how tight the needle fits in this thing. And I don't really like it because it makes it, you have any kind of impurity on the needle at all, the needle won't move when you pull the trigger back, and that kind of sucks. So flush it out as good as I can with the thinner. That's all nice. I also like to let it dry. So even though, you know, it's just thinner on there now, inside there's just thinner, and it doesn't really matter how much you spray, you're gonna get some thinner residue left over in there, and I don't like putting the needle back in when it's all wet, because then there's that chance of impurities in the thinner actually making the needle stick in place, and I want to eliminate that possibility. So, because I have had it where, okay, needle's dry, the needle's clean, you know, put all the thinner through the brush and everything like that, and it doesn't seem to be any more pigment at all. I put it all back together, I leave it for a day, I go to grab it, and the needle's stuck in there. And pulling the trigger back doesn't even move the needle. Actually, just the thing just slides on the needle back here because it's stuck up here somewhere, and it's holding the needle. So I like to let the needle sit, and I'll just leave it like this for maybe an hour or so, and let the thinner all evaporate in there, so I don't have to worry about it later. Okay, so here's our body with not the smoothest texture at all. In fact, I've got actual pieces of like fabric on here. Let me change the camera. The car looks nice, but holy crap, that is like a really crappy, look at that, look at the texture. You can see the huge dust spots. This is where having a booth really would have helped. So this is the one thing I hate about this kind of model building. Is that you have to worry about all this stuff. Building tanks and planes, you don't worry about impurities and imperfections nearly as much. There's so many pieces of dust on that hood. It's really terrible. It's just awful, and you can see it. I shine that light around there, that looks horrible. So, what do I do about it? there isn't a lot I can do. Yes, I can polish it. I can try buffing it out and see how that helps. I definitely don't want to leave it for the clear coat, because if I put clear over it, I'm just going to have a really bumpy clear coat. So I want to sand that down first. That being said, I also really, am I trying to really ruin this thing? At the same time, this is kind of a learning experience for me to get back into building car models, because when I was younger I used to kind of build them exclusively, but I never really cared so much about the paint jobs when I was younger. I just built them and figured good enough is good enough. Now that I'm older, I care more about how it looks at the end of the day, and I wanted to have it nice and shiny and glossy, especially when you watch, you can go on YouTube and you see there's these guys who post videos of like model shows, and you see these guys with these absolutely gorgeous paint jobs that look like, you know, a car from an actual car show, right? These super glossy, super shiny, perfect paint jobs. And as you can see, I don't get anywhere near close to that with my super dusty room with lint everywhere, regardless of all the things I try to reduce the amount of dust in the air. I'm not sure that a booth would really help me. Somebody commented on my last video, have I ever thought about buying a booth, a paint booth? And as much as I think so, if I built a booth around my little table here and had them all sitting in it, I think any fans that I have in the booth is just going to pull the dust right into it. And well, what's the point then? I'm just sucking dust into that booth because of this environment being so dusty as it is. So I'm kind of like feeling like my hands are tied, and I don't know if I actually have a solution to my dust problem. Just the nature of where I live, I've got you know, airplanes taking off near my house all the time, and they kick up tons of dust. I have a gravel back alley in the backyard. Again, another dust producer. There goes a plane taking off right now. I got carpet on the floor. I got all kinds of things, everything that lint and dust can just pick up and fly. I can see it, and when the sun coming through my window, I can see dust just everywhere in the room, even though I'm not doing anything. So I'm kind of screwed. And unless I actually build some kind of a dust booth with plastic lining on the walls and everything. Another thing I thought about, maybe if I build some kind of a booth and I have a fan on the ceiling of the booth, so that when dust does go in, it goes up instead of falling down onto the model. I don't know, but it would have to be like perfect vacuum to really suck the dust up, because as I spray, when you spray any particles that get in there now, the thing sprays it right directly on there. So yeah, I don't know. I think this is where, like, there's nothing I can do on this right now. I have to let this sit now for another day, let this cure and harden, and then I'm going to try buffing it before I put a clear on it, especially on the hood. I got to try cleaning up this hood a little bit. Yes, there is going to be a fiber decal going down on it, and that's going to hide a lot of it, but I got to get this smooth. This looks really rough and awful looking with so many little particles on it. The hood looks like crap. You could tell. You guys can even see in the picture on the camera. It looks like crap. The color is nice. It's a really nice color. Nice candy blue. Looks really nice. I just need to buff it up and then put a clear on it. Which clear I'm going to put, I don't know. I don't know if I should use the Tamiya clear or if I should use the actual All-Clad, what do they call it? I've got the All-Clad clear Aqua Gloss. All-Clad Aqua Gloss. If I should use that on there, I don't know. I might just hit it with the Tamiya spray that I normally do, and then I can do a few coats of that and buff that out and see how it comes out. We'll see. But I think that's really where I should leave it for today, because again, there's nothing else I can do on this, and I just have to kind of leave it and leave it like that, and well, really just call it a day. So if you have any pointers, any criticisms you could give me, how to eliminate the dust from actually getting on there. Would a fan on the hood actually pulling upwards, would that help? Because I'm kind of at a loss. I've got a couple of other car models that I want to build, but I want to have nice paint jobs on them, you know? I don't want to have to deal with this every time. And why I don't have to deal with it when it comes to painting tanks and planes is because I'm using flat colors and you don't see it. But even a flat color you're going to see. But why is it when I use clear gloss or use a gloss paint, dust just goes, oh, there's a gloss paint, I gotta go to that. It's like a moth to a flame. Flat colors, you know, dust is like, yeah, no thanks, I don't need that. But when you go, oh, that guy's spraying, he's spraying gloss color, I gotta go stick on that. That's gotta be my new home. I don't know what it is, I really don't. But anyway, leave comments down below, hit that like button, and subscribe if you haven't. I know that a good 80% of you who watch my videos do not subscribe, so come on guys, just hit that subscribe button please. And yeah, and I'm going to leave it at that for today, and we'll see you all in the next one.